Welcome back, everyone, to the FloTrack podcast. I'm Kevin Sully. He is Gordon Mack. Special shout out to everybody watching live on YouTube. You can like and subscribe to the FloTrack podcast YouTube page. Happy Wednesday, Gordon. How are you doing?
Happy Hump Day. What are you doing this weekend? I realize I can ask you what you're doing this weekend because producer Colt just told me after noon on a Wednesday is when you're allowed to start asking people what they're doing this weekend.
Oh, well, I know what you're doing.
Texas Relays.
You're going Texas Relays.
Are you going Texas Relays?
I might make an appearance. You're really excited about the catfish fry on Thursday night, which I cannot go to because I have a scheduling conflict. Are you going to go solo to the catfish fry?
I don't know. So for people who don't know, Texas Relays does this cool thing on the Thursday night, basically of the first day of Texas Relays. They do this fish fry.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know what it was until I came to Texas. I went to it like in 2014 or 15. Mm-hmm. Just get all this fried fish.
Yeah.
A lot of Texas alums show up. You see a lot of famous faces. They're like, oh, you have won a bunch of NCAA titles. Oh, you're pretty
Well, it's in
fast.
the football stadium in one of the luxury boxes or one of the rooms, so you have a cool view of DKR, which is also where they warm up for Texas Relays, which I always thought was pretty cool too. Like, imagine being a high school kid. You're already amped enough to compete at the Texas Relays. Oh, where are you going to warm up? Oh, in this gigantic football stadium that you've probably seen on TV 50 times. Pretty cool.
Yeah. If you're new to the podcast, make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Click that subscribe button right there. Boom. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. We're at 18.4.
Still? And what happens if we don't meet the number by June?
By NCAAs.
If we don't meet it by NCAAs, this is what happens, guys.
Kevin is off the pod, and it's just a Gordon pod, and you do not want that. Because when it's just me, bad things get said.
Numbers
canceled.
go up, though.
Numbers go up.
Yeah, numbers go up.
But then they go right back down when they realize, oh, we can't handle this. So.
Also, a new thing we're trying out, live studio audience. Shout out to our friend Trevor, who's here. We don't have a shot of Trevor, but he's here.
There's a camera on him, but we won't show it.
We don't need to.
I don't know if Colt can access that camera.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
No, we don't want to embarrass him.
Just know that we have a live studio audience, so the pressure is cranked up now to deliver a great pod. There you go. There's some applause.
There we go. Oh, there it is. You can see his.
Oh,
there.
That was his leg. We saw his leg. Oh, no.
He's commentating Penn Relays for us.
One of our many Penn Relays commentators. You probably heard his voice on a bunch of other Flow broadcasts. He does a great job.
Don't worry, Jamaican fans. He knows how to pronounce all of the schools.
He already gave you some good pronunciation advice in the 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, is it Yago, is it Yago, is it Jago?
Yeah, boom. He was on it.
It was Jago.
So think.
Right? Did I get that one wrong?
See, Trevor's learning.
It was Jago.
Trevor, you're living my world now. You're sharing my pain where you tell Gordon one thing 1 minute and then 3 minutes later, whoosh.
So it's Jago. It's St. Jago.
Yes.
Okay.
St. Jago.
I'm going to remember that.
Yeah. We'll make a guide for you, I think. All right. Let's get into the show. We're going to do 1,500 meter rankings, do the top 10 for men and women. We're going to preview the Stanford Invite because that's happening this weekend as well. We'll talk about another event where you think there could be a collegiate record broken at Penn Relays. It's becoming a segment pretty much.
Yeah.
Gordon predicts collegiate records. Well, let's first, actually before we do that, sorry, one more tease. Tease on top of the tease. Because Tampa Eagle says, did you guys catch up with Abby? Obviously, we need to bring up the failed interview attempt again. We're working on it. We're hoping. We're hoping.
We are currently working on figuring out our schedules.
Details, yes. So maybe on Friday, but I don't want to jinx it because I did the all-time jinx on last Friday's show.
The studio is only 10 minutes away from the Austin track.
Yeah.
So how long does it take?
Well, yeah. I don't want to put it on her, though. It's not her responsibility.
No, it's not.
We had the shot, and you blew it. So
I blew it. We blew it.
Internet blew it. Whatever the internet provider was out there where she was recording from. All right. Let's get into the show, though. Let's start first with
a tweet.
Now, you made the headline for this podcast, and you titled it Controversial Sha'Carri Shelly-Ann Tweet. I think you should have put controversial in some air quotes here, because some people find this tweet controversial.
Should I edit the title of our podcast?
You don't need to do it right now.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in.
You don't need to do it right now.
I'm going to click controversial in quotes.
I probably should have told you that before we started.
So if you're watching it right now, refresh, and the title is now controversial in quotes.
So let's put up the tweet. Maybe people have seen it. If you're really involved on track Twitter, you've seen it. If you're not, maybe it went by you. So there's Michael Johnson responding to the tweet. But Colt, if you could click on that photo and pull that up. That is the tweet in question. So Bit of it's cut off, but you see the image, you see the text there. They're promoting a continental tour meet down the line.
Oh, Cole, you're not going to find it. Colt's tweet's
Well, why
deleted.
is Colt not going to find it?
Yeah, because it's deleted.
It's
So,
deleted.
Yeah, okay.
Now, they said it was deleted because it turns out Richardson's running the 200 and Fraser-Pryce is running the 100. But what I want to comment here on is the reaction to said tweet. There was, and I know internet is not real life. Twitter is not real life. It's not a representative sample size of people's opinions about things. But when they posted that tweet, all the comments, you thought there was major news breaking. It was the most controversial graphic ever in meat promotion. When really it was just a side-by-side of, here are two famous people who are running together in this Continental Tour meet. That's all it was. That's all it was. People thought it said rivalry. They were getting upset about things that weren't even on the tweet. People were saying, how dare Richardson be on the same graphic as Fraser-Pryce? I don't know, because they're trying to promote a meet and it's two people involved in a sporting competition. When you log on to your Sunday ticket package and you see Patrick Mahomes representing the Kansas City Chiefs and you see, I don't know, who's another NFL quarterback?
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert? Well, Justin Herbert. Do you get Matt? Herbert hasn't won any Super Bowls. He didn't win any MVPs.
This is a playoff game.
Why is he on the same graphic as Patrick Mahomes? No, you're allowed to put two people in a graphic together, especially if your job is to attract interest to the sport and to the race. So the reaction to this was way out of proportion for what it really was. When I was looking at the reaction almost before I saw the actual tweet in question, and I thought, oh, did they put the word rivalry up there? No, it's just two people running in a race.
Most of the reaction, all of the reaction, was they were against Sha'Carri being in the same graphic as Shelly-Ann, because like Shelly-Ann, the GOAT for women's sprinting.
Right.
Sha'Carri hasn't won any titles yet. She's a popular runner who has some fast times, but she doesn't have, obviously, the medals. Even her, she knows. Shelly-Ann's been doing it for 15 years. But here's the thing. Everyone was so mad.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, why is Sha'Carri living rent-free in all of Shelly-Ann fans' heads?
Not even just Shelly-Ann fans. It seems like everybody.
Track and field fans. Like, what is it with people and their Sha'Carri Richardson mental breakdown? They see her and they get upset.
It's just very...
Makes no sense.
It's just very...
I mean, I know why it does make sense, but...
Well, it's just very frustrating when that's people's immediate response. Like, we can't think for a few more seconds. It's just like, no, two people can be in the same image without it being a comparison, right? It's not let's compare these two careers back to back, or we're saying these two athletes have equal resumes. It's a graphic for a meet.
Also,
it's being run, and now it's been deleted.
To all the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce fans, which there are many of them, I'm one of them. I'm a big fan of all these athletes. Would you rather watch Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in a race against Dina Asher-Smith or in a race against Sha'Carri Richardson?
Yeah. I think they'd want to see her against Richardson.
Yeah, because
well, they weren't mad.
Dina Asher-Smith.
Dina
Asher-Smith is a better runner right now than Sha'Carri, but if you're a fan of Shelly-Ann, you want to watch her beat Sha'Carri.
Yeah. There isn't a rivalry between these two athletes, but there is the Jamaica-U.S. sprint rivalry, which we've talked about for decades. I don't know. I guess I just shouldn't be surprised that people are going to take offense to everything on the internet. Yeah, I shouldn't.
People are weird.
Yeah. Well, isn't there there's that famous meme of someone saying, oh, you like pancakes? Well, what about waffles? Right? It's just like two things that don't match up. Like, no one said they were equal. Nobody said that they have as many gold medals as each other. Like, it's not a comparison. It's not a comparison. It's these two people running in the race. We've probably done graphics, I'm sure. Hey, here are the two best people in this meet that we are streaming. One is going to be better than the other, 9 times out of 10.
Kevin, I think we need to have a little self-reflection, though.
Yeah.
What is worse? People overreacting to this tweet or two podcasters doing 5 to 10 minutes about the reaction? Like, what is a little more crazy? I think the fact that we are spending time thinking about this, I think is a little worse than people just tweeting at it.
The only reason I wanted to talk about it was because I thought it gave good insight into a certain segment of the fan base in track and field. And it's not just fans of one particular athlete. I think if you had swapped her out with somebody else, or you had done a similar thing in a different event, I think you could have had a lot of the same.
No.
Well, actually, yeah, that's not true. That's not true. But I'm saying if you had Elaine Thompson, Hurrah, and Richardson, it would have been the same.
Yeah.
If you had Jackson and Richardson, it would have been the same.
But if you have Richardson and anybody.
Yeah, that's my point, is there is just this need to just take everything up to 11 when something can just be a graphic.
And also, people get upset when an athlete is more popular than an other athlete who has more credentials.
Sure.
But that's just sports. That's reality. Yeah. Like, some people are more interested in seeing, like, who has more, like, I'm trying to think of an analogy.
See, you should have thought of the analogy before you started the sentence. That's a classic Gordon move right there.
Yeah. God, I'm trying to.
Happens all the time.
What's like an example of a person who is more popular even though they have less credentials?
LaMelo Ball.
Sure. Or Tiger Woods the past 7 years.
Well, he has a lot of credentials from back in the day.
Right now, he's not as good as the other athletes, but he's going to get his credentials, though, are legacied in. Yeah, you know I'm just saying, sports is not just like, you have the most wins, you have the fastest time, so therefore, every time you need to be more popular. Sorry, but popularity is not just results-based. Popularity is personality. Yeah. It's what you say on and off the track. It's sports. It's entertainment. Sports is at the end of entertainment, and Sha'Carri's entertaining, and entertainment gets rewarded.
My last point on this, and then we can move on. My last point is this. What do people always say they want more of in track and field?
Rivalries, controversy?
Yeah, personalities,
people
rivalry.
caring?
Yeah, let's make it more about head-to-head matchups. Let's be so less reliant on times. Let's focus on wins. Yeah. And then you do the most innocuous infographic, and everybody loses their mind about it.
Yeah, but they like losing their mind. They're having fun losing their mind.
Okay.
It's fun to lose your mind. Yeah. It's fun to get upset.
So maybe I shouldn't read as much into it.
People are having fun.
I am.
All the people who are saying they're not having fun are having the best time of their lives. People get so excited to be upset.
Okay.
It's weird.
Maybe I'll take your word on that. So maybe I should read less into
they're not
them
actually
being
mad.
Upset. Yeah.
They're actually happy.
They're happy to be
This
upset.
is actually this is the greatest thing ever. All these people had the best day ever when they got to tweet, how dare you
I don't know about that.
Put her next to her. They got excited.
All right. Next topic. 1,500 meter rankings. Are they up on the site?
Yeah.
They are, because Colt doesn't have the link.
Ooh, that's on me. I told you I was going to put it in the link, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
Colt's going to find it. See if Colt can find the rankings.
So we've done 100, we've done 200, we've done 800. Now it's time to do the 1,500. Let's start first with the men. Let's throw that up there. No surprise. He didn't win the gold medal in the 15. But Jakob's going to be number 1. Jake Whiteman, number 2. He won the gold. Ran some really good 800s, too, after the World Championships. Ran 1,000. He moved up based on indoors and the 347 mile. He also beat Katir. Neil Gorley, 7. He had a great indoor season. Abel Kipsang in 8. Josh Kerr in 9. And then Stuart McSwain in 10. What are your thoughts? Who do you think was too high? Who was too low? Is there somebody outside the top 10 you would have included?
I feel like I've been a little too harsh on this athlete, because this athlete is really good and has done amazing things, but for some reason I just have a way to like get upset about it. But why is Jake Whiteman second?
You think he should be first?
No.
Think he should be third?
What did he do? What has he done past 3 months?
Oh, well, if we're making everything based on the past 3 months, then you'd have Jared Nagus number 1, Neil Gorley number 2. And
but it's not making everything in the past 3 months, but like it is making it about these guys injured.
He is injured now. But here's the thing. You forget, and I forgot too, because we got so distracted by the gold, which we should have, that heading into that,
he was running well.
He was running really well.
Yeah, 330s and 329s, right?
Yeah, I mean, he won the UK champs, which now is a legit win. He won in Rabat. Now, he got third in Commonwealth, so you can ding him a little bit there in the 1500. And then the 800s and the 1,000 that he dominated, he had a series of good results. If he had gotten second at the World Championships to Ingebrigtsen, you could still make the claim that he should be second overall. He'd probably be more in that 2-3-4 group, but I think he's a solid second. Unless you're going to go and say, well, because they're injured, you're going to move them back and all that stuff. But then
that's a factor.
Yeah, that is a factor. And we need to know more about the injury. I know he was in a boot before, too.
If you want to succeed in the 1500, you got to have a good...
You have to be healthy? That's pretty much everybody. Yeah, in every event.
That should be a t-shirt. If you want to succeed in running, you got to be healthy.
It's hard to run at the Diamond League level in a boot. I've always said that.
Maybe 2 boots, because then your equilibrium even out. So that's actually... If you want to get hurt, you got to hurt both feet.
Yeah.
Because that's a better advantage than 1 foot.
So Mario Garcia-Romo ran really well at Worlds. He would be number 11. And he could make a case anywhere, I think, from 11 all the way up probably to number 4. Indoors, he's been solid, but Naguse ran better and Oliver Hoare ran better. The problem was he had that NCAA schedule, so he wasn't allowed to really get out on the Diamond League and accrue a bunch of wins. He did run well at Europeans. He did run a Diamond League at the end of the year, so he's definitely in the mix. But these guys are so close together.
Yeah,
so,
Katir
lost to Naguse, but he also ran that really good 3K where he got second, but ran faster than the old world record.
Dude, you're an encyclopedia of 2022 1500 meter performances.
Not just that.
And 3Ks and indoors.
Because 2023 indoors, 2022 outdoors.
You just know it all.
And I can pronounce St. Jago.
You're like the Tifers of
let's not go that
1500.
far. Let's not go that far.
Katir, Hoare, Cheruiyot, Naguse, Gorley, Kipsang, Kerr, and maybe a little McSwain. But most of those guys, they all have a reason why they're better than the other person, and the other person has a reason why they're better than
Exactly.
And it's a giant circle. Mm-hmm. So in order to find out who's going to win, they should run in a circle.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Although, let's see. Could all of these athletes make it to Worlds, or do we have more than 3? No, we don't. Great Britain has exactly 3. Yeah. We talked about
it. Great Britain gets 4.
That's true. They get 4 this year.
And who won the Diamond League? 15. Ingebrigtsen. So, but there's not 3 other Norwegians.
No, I don't think they need to worry about that. But yeah, Norway has a chance. Great Britain, Spain, Australia, Kenya, Ethiopia. Lemmy made the final. I didn't put him in there. Also, I don't know if Tefera is going to come back.
Should I say this? Outside of...
Should you say it? No. Will you?
Outside of Ingebrigtsen, is the 2nd to 10th place 1500 meter runners as chaotic as the 1st to 8th place 800 meter runners, where you really could shuffle it up and have anything finish and it makes sense. It would make sense for Kerr to finish 2nd, for Kipsang to finish 2nd, for Gorley, for Naguse, for Cheruiyot, for Hoare, Katir. Like, you can see it all finishing 2nd or 3rd or 4th or 5th. Like, the odds of their 2nd through 8th to 9th place is 10% each.
The difference is in the men's 800, someone who's 18th could get a medal. Yeah, that's not the case here.
Yeah, but the difference between
the medalists are coming with the exception of Garcia-Romo. I think the medalists are coming from this list.
Yeah,
in the 800, I would not bet anything that the medalists
are
coming from this.
But there's no favorite to medal outside of Ingebrigtsen.
There's no favorite to medal outside of Ingebrigtsen. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Look at that.
But
we came to a conclusion.
If Ingebrigtsen is Emmanuel Career in this analogy, great analogy by the way, you at least know the next 5 or 6. In the men's 8, you don't know. We get a completely different order. I'm excited to bring back we need to do the prediction contest again for the men's 800 at World Champs.
Yeah.
If it stays the way it's going to stay.
Oh, it's not changing.
It's not changing at all. Ready for the women?
Yeah, Whiteman, though, coming in, ranked 3rd in our 800 and 2nd in our 1500.
Yeah.
He's good, but we're putting a lot of bank on
him being healthy.
Yeah. What's the deadline for the Whiteman healthy rule?
Well, he's got a bye, so he gets to June.
He has till June.
Let's ask Trevor. Trevor, when should Jake Whiteman's deadline be?
He's got the bye, so.
So if he does nothing all the way through August 9th, you're going to be like, oh yeah, we're still good. We're good. You're going to believe in him?
To the line healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares about the FloTrack rankings. Let's put it that way.
Oh, wow. Oh. You can't say that when you're our first
dunk
ever
on us.
live studio guest.
Brits are brutal.
This is true. All right, women. Here we go. Faith Kipyegon, number 1. Gudaf Sagai, 2. Laura Mir, 3. Froweni Hailu, 4. Dariba Watelji, 5. Jessica Hall and Abby Caldwell, 6, 7. Kiara McGee in 8th, Sinclair Johnson 9th, and Sofia Inoue of Poland in 10th. Kipyegon, clear pick, number 1, dominant at Worlds. Sagai, good last year, and indoors was going for a world record basically every time you looked. She was running a world record attempt and almost getting it. Muir, she was solid this year. Wasn't her best season of all time, but still won the indoor title at Euros. Hailu and Watelji have run really fast. Hull and Caldwell. So Hull made the World Championship final. Remember, Caldwell wasn't even on the team, but Caldwell took her to the line at an early season meet in Australia this outdoor season. So I paired them together. McGeehan was really good post-World Championships last year. She went under 4 minutes, and then she won the Brussels Diamond League. Johnson was World Championship finalist. And then Inoue, she just is always in the mix, really good kicker. She ran well at Worlds last year and ran well at Europeans. You could put Mashesha in this list. You could put Mbaye in this list. There's others that obviously are deserving. This one, though, unlike the men, you feel good about that top 3.
And the order of the top 3.
Yeah.
Not just the top 3, but the order.
Those are locked in there pretty well. I don't know if any of their race, like is Sagai going to run the 5 because she's done that before? Is Mira going to run the 8? Unlikely. But all those women have also run other events. Kipyegon is the one constant in there in first.
All right, Kevin.
Super constant, I should say. They're all constant.
We made a ranking.
Yeah.
But we left someone out.
Who?
Who do you think?
I don't know. That's why I
Think
asked.
harder. Think harder.
Who?
Think.
I'm thinking. Let me look at my notes here.
All right, how long do you think we can have until you'll figure out who the person you're missing? You're missing a very extremely obvious person.
I'm lost. You lost me.
She's a first name and a last name. She has won
Good hint.
many global titles. Many.
Oh. Well, I'm not considering her for the 1500.
Why not? Let's see if we can do this entire segment without mentioning her name.
Yeah, we all know who we're talking about.
Yeah, let's just keep it silent.
Can I? Oh, someone in the chat got it. The last two. Okay, people got in the chat got it. So wait, what's the question? Why are we assuming she's not running the 15? Probably because she's running the marathon in April. That would be one clue. It doesn't exclude it entirely because she'll do any double or triple known to man. I guess also because last year at Worlds, she just did the 5 and the 10. She didn't do the 15. So that's the other reason I'm just going to put her in the 5 and the 10 in marathon rankings. Where would I put her? That's a good question. I would probably put her in 3rd. I'd put her behind Sagai and Kipyegon.
What did she run last year in the 15? Did she even run a 15 last year?
I don't think she ran a 15.
She didn't.
Yeah. But
So-
then you go back to 2021 and she had all those battles with Kipyegon and actually got a win over her.
Everyone knows who we're talking about, right?
Yeah. The chat's got it.
They figured it out?
Yeah. Should I say?
No, I think we just keep it
Okay.
quiet. So the Spotify listeners are like, who the hell are they talking about?
I think I've dropped a lot of hints. I think we know.
What's a way we can...
I'm surprised you didn't ask me that before we went on the air.
Well, when we were going over the rankings, I was trying to think of a podcast segment to talk about the rankings. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave this person off. I'm not going to bring her up.
That's not your strategy at
let's
all.
see
No,
if
you forgot.
Kevin-
You forgot is what
What do you
happened.
mean I forgot? I'm the one who brought it up. I'm the one that brought up this person
Yeah, I know,
that
but
shall
you
not be
forgot
named.
it initially. I didn't put her on because I didn't think that she qualified.
But you
in
did.
terms
You
of-
should have been like, "Hey, what about this person? I know she's running the marathon."
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess I did do that with Whiteman in the 800.
Yeah.
but this is a little bit.
If we're putting
different
Whiteman in
scenario.
the 8, shouldn't we put in this woman in the 15?
Right. Okay. What if we're gonna put her in the 15? I'm gonna put her 3rd, and I'll bump out our number 10 runner, Inoue. Done. Problem solved.
Are we doing that?
If it just depends what we think qualifies as. See, this is what makes this so difficult.
What?
When they're ranking the top 25 college football teams, they're not thinking, is Clemson going to play this year?
Yeah.
Or are they going to take the year off?
I don't know.
How sold are we on out? When's Alabama going to debut? Are they September, October? What if they wait until November?
Yeah,
They're kind of injured.
they only play full 12 game schedule.
No,
They just play 2 games play once against Georgia, once against Auburn. Done.
Yeah. You're not. Hey, is Djokovic going to do singles, doubles, or mixed doubles this year? We don't know.
I don't know.
He might just be doing a double season. Yeah, we can put her third if you want.
You wanna put her third?
I'll leave that up to you. You've been here long enough. You can decide.
You know what? No, I'm not gonna put her third.
Okay.
I will put her third if she runs. What do you think she's going to run the marathon in?
2:17.
You think she's going to run 2:17?
Yeah.
Okay, so if she runs under 2:17, we put her.
Yeah.
Third.
So here's my very arbitrary standard for when I decide to include them or not. Do I think that this person might run it at World Champs or Olympics?
Okay.
And with her, I don't. Whiteman, between the 8 and I don't think he's going to run the 8 and the 15, but I can't rule any one of those out. For example, when we do the 400 and 400 hurdles, I'm putting Femke Bol and Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni on both the 400 and 400 hurdles. And breaking news. Folks, you heard it here live first on YouTube. Kevin's going to put them on both because they could run both and they deserve to be in the top 10.
I just imagine there's a podcast listener who's like gonna have dinner and say, "Hey, well, how's your day today?" Kevin just told me the most ridiculous thing. He told me that the FloTrack rankings are gonna have Sydney and Femke in both the 400 and 400 hurdles. I can't sleep at night.
Do you think, would you put them in there? Would you include them? Yeah. You don't, because you don't know what they're going to run. Femke makes more sense because she ran it a bunch indoors. Sydney, not as much, but the fact that she even gave the quote is why we're putting her in there. All right. Next topic.
We successfully did the entire segment without mentioning her name. I really appreciate that you did that for me.
Yeah, I'm going to lead off the Stanford Invite preview with it. Because you know who once ran at the Stanford track? Sifan Hassan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a
Peyton
coincidence.
Jordan. Peyton, not Stanford Invite, but Peyton Jordan.
In Palo Alto.
Yeah, she crushed it.
Yeah.
All right, Stanford Invite, Friday and Saturday, live on FloTrack. Let's dive
Also,
into
the
some
Mike
of these.
Finelli track classic live on FloTrack, which is for all the people who aren't in the Stanford Invite who live in California. Go to Mike Finelli.
Yeah, you have to live in California.
Yeah. That's how it works. Also, the Paris Marathon is live on FloTrack this weekend.
Cool. Yeah, this is the Stanford Invite section.
I know, but I'm
so
trying to
it's
tell other
good.
people about the other things you can watch on the FloTrack. We're a business.
Do you
man.
understand how I try to clip these
we got
things?
we got to tell
I try
people
to clip the segment
about our
to
live
where-
events.
Let's reset that.
Where do you take that off? Like,
I'm just doing
talking to you.
my therapist said someone's just got to do a total refresh.
You talk to your therapist about me?
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Okay.
You should get a therapist. It's people.
Do you have one?
No,
If you do, you don't have to tell me.
I don't
Am
have
I your
one.
therapist?
No, you're not my therapist.
In some ways, I kind of am.
maybe.
I feel like.
I have like a, yeah.
Okay.
I spread out my problems among like 3 different people.
Oh, what tier of problems do I get?
You get 33% of them.
How many does Colt get?
Colt gets 5%.
How do you feel about that, Colt?
I can deal with it.
Yeah. Colt,
That's fine by me.
if Colt came into the office, then maybe he'll bump up to 10%.
Oh, you know what, Colt? You know what Gordon told me on Monday?
Okay.
He's not going to like
Boy,
what I say here.
what happened? Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, we have to say it off air.
Yeah. What, you can throw me under the bus?
No. No, it's a good thing about Colt.
Okay.
He holds you in high esteem. Okay, I'll phrase it this way. This won't give it away.
Oh, okay.
Gordon was talking about a very important life event that happens to a lot of people, but not every person. And he said that you would be included in that life event.
Oh, yeah.
When and if it happened. And that life event would be a very select group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it, just like I didn't say Sifan Hassan's name.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the word.
Okay, don't say it.
But he said only if you keep being the producer. If you stop being the producer, you're out.
Oh, so there's... Okay.
There's strings attached, which I thought was unnecessary.
Well, strings attached to all friendships.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Stanford Invite this weekend, live on FloTrack, Friday and Saturday. As usual, the distance races getting a lot of attention. Gordon, let's dive in. Let's talk first about that women's 5,000. The women's 5,000 is going to be real good. We got top programs represented. Hilda Olamomoy is going to be there, fresh off a really impressive showing at the NCAA Indoor Championships. Taylor Rowe is on the entry list as well. So is Kaylee McCabe. You've been following this meet a bunch of years.
Some say about a decade.
What should people expect from Stanford Invite? We know the fields are deep, but what sort of times would you expect to see in this? For many athletes, is their outdoor debut.
Are you asking me specifically about the women's 5K or overall?
Women, well, overall, just how is this meet viewed? And then, if you get into what sort of times you think we can expect for the women's 5?
So a lot of times we view the meet as like, ooh, we're going to see some hot action. Mm-hmm. And when we're trying to promote people to watch it, live on FloTrack, we tell everyone's going to break the collegiate record. They're going to run world records. It's going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen. But in reality, people just want to get top 48 marks in the West or East respective regions. Most of these athletes are going to be in the West region. So looking at typical, like last year's Stanford invite, you know, Kai Robinson ran 13:23, which is pretty impressive for a 5K.
Yeah.
On the women's side, the fastest Stanford invite time was in like 15:40s, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is there are going to be some people who are like, just get a top 48 mark.
Mm-hmm.
You may get a select few who are like, screw it.
Go for it.
Let's see what happens.
This is my chance.
And then, but most people, some of the top athletes are going to pull what Chesrick did a few years ago where, hey, just run within your control, save it for June.
Yeah.
But you never know what people are going to do. We know that the typical times where people are going to run fast is either Stanford,
Yeah.
Brian Clay, which is in 2 weeks, and then Peyton Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those three, you're likely to get your fast one. It's just a matter of which one is it going to be. It's like a shuffling. It's like 3-card Monte.
Yeah.
A fast time. Stanford, Brian Clay, Peyton Jordan. Follow the queen. Where's the queen?
Yeah.
We don't know. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have to watch all 3 races to follow the queen.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of athletes are entered in multiple events too. So we don't expect any 5K, 10K doubles to take place, but they're covering their bases. They're going to try to run in the event that is best suited for them at the moment. On the men's side, that men's 10,000, if all these athletes get to the start line, Drew Bosley, Charles Hicks, Alex Mayer, Kai Robinson, Patrick Kiprop.
I mean, it's basically NCAA cross country without Nico. Yeah,
it goes even deeper than that if you dig into the start list, but those are just some of the headliners. Bosley, second in the 3K, third in the 5K indoors, third in cross. Hicks, the cross country champion. Mayer, All-American, of course. Kiprop made the indoor meet. Kai Robinson, you mentioned, defending Stanford Invite champion in the 5. He's in the 10. So the potential is there for a fast time to take place, and we've already seen Bosley run a 5 this year. So he's ready to race. We know that for sure.
Yeah, and he ran 13:37. Then he said on Strava like he feels like he can do that pace back to back. Which is, what is that?
Okay.
Equal?
That'd be 27:14, Gordon.
Yeah, so he thinks he can run 27:14.
That'll get it done. That'll get you a qualifier.
I think he'll get a qualifier. Is that the collegiate record?
27:14. It's got to be, right?
Sam Schlinga might run something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Look it up. So it's also interesting, the 10K, you have this whole situation of you got to run a qualifier, then you got to run prelims, and you got to run NCAAs. And if you're trying to have a successful post-NCAA summer, that's a lot of 10Ks to put under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are going to run a fast 10K, you got to choose wisely. You either decide, is this a year I try to run a fast 10K or is this a year I don't? And some athletes are like, no, this is it. This is a want to finish as high as I can at NCAA's year, or is this I want to chase a fast PB? Because also, got to remember, some of these athletes want to try to get that world standard. The world standard is a lot harder this year than previous years. And a lot of international athletes like Charles Hicks will probably be like, hey, put myself in the mix, give myself a fast time, while all the other pros are kind of going the Diamond League circuit route.
Shelly-Ann 27:08. You nailed that one. Man, he was fast. That was 27:08 in college.
Especially that era, too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like 27:08 today's going to be like, oh, yeah, people, that's what.
When you put it in the context, I know Bosley wasn't going full gas. He was just trying to get a qualifier, but still, like, slower than his split.
But people are running 13:30s that I've never heard of these days, so I feel like.
Do you think 27:08 is going to get broken this year?
I think it could get. I think 5 athletes could break 27:08 if they tried.
Yeah.
I don't know if all 5 I think there's a chance 0 of them try to break it, but the way people are running, there are people who ran 14:10 last year and then are running 13:35. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well,
so
Nur 13:06, he has a collegiate record, and that was just from last year.
I think Nur's time could get broken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just he took down a Henry Rono record, which for a lot of us thought. I mean, I know what was who got close. Actually, no one really got close, right?
It's just hard to chase fast distance times because the coaches are trying to prioritize not overworking you, trying to prepare you to have your best race at NCAAs, which is not going to be a fast time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in the heat and all that stuff. So you don't know what they're going to do. Literally, Drew Bosley could go out there and run a boring 28:20.
Yeah.
Or he could go for it and try to run a sub 27:30.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's Friday night. Most of that stuff's Friday night, and then the meet
And
continues
because
on
we
Saturday.
don't know, that's why you got to watch it live.
Got to see.
You got to watch it. So don't let our podcast preview be enough dopamine for you to enjoy this race.
Yeah.
You got to actually watch it in real time.
Yeah. Speaking of college stuff, you had spoken before about how Iowa State, the men, have a good chance to break the NCAA record in the 4x at Penn, which great stage to break the collegiate record, I think. But there's another distance program that's already committed. Now, there's some other distance programs that we haven't heard from, and sprint programs that we haven't heard from, that we think will end up at Penn. But we're just talking about the ones that we know that have committed to Penn. And that's Oklahoma State. And you think they have a shot at breaking that men's distance medley relay record. We saw some good programs last year take a shot at it. But Oklahoma State, hard to argue after what they did indoors.
So the way indoor miles happen, the DMR record is mostly held by the indoor performances. So
The mile performances.
yeah. So Oklahoma State holds the record of 9:16.4. So they already actually have the collegiate record.
Yeah, but that was indoors.
But that was indoors. The outdoor collegiate record is 9:20.1 from Arkansas. Guess what year that's from? Arkansas running 9:20.
19.
It's at Penn Relays.
1992.
1989. So we're trying to go after the 80s here. In the 4x8, the DMR.
Yeah.
This could be the year, the 2020s are the new 1980s when it comes to Penn Relays, men's distance relay records. Very specific.
Yeah.
Very niche era.
I'd say put it on a shirt,
Yeah.
but that's a lot of words for a shirt.
It's like the Dunder Mifflin race for the cure of
rabies.
Rabies and Awareness Heritage Month, something like that. So yeah, 9:20. I think it's breakable. They've already run 9:16.
Yeah,
they're going in with a purpose. They normally go to Drake Relays. They're changing it up and going to Penn Relays.
Yeah,
Washington may not be there, so they're going to want to have a way to kind of one up whatever Washington does. So they're going to go for it. They're going to have the 4x mile. They're going to have the DMR, and they have the talent. They have two really good milers, 1,200 meter guys in Shapi and Masawi.
Yeah. So I said before, it's the best place to break the record, and some of these events are only contested a few times a year and not at the NCAA championships.
Yeah.
NCAA championships, that'd be number one on everybody's list. If I could break an NCAA record, where would I do it? NCAA championships. Number two, it's got to be Penn Relays. It's got to be Penn Relays. Even if there was a DMR at the conference meet or it was more regularly contested throughout the season, doing it on that stage at Franklin Field would be pretty awesome to witness. Yeah, I just wonder who can go with them, because the 9:16 was done in a race where everybody was saying the goal is the fast time. The goal is the fast time. The goal is the fast time. And you wanted to win, but really you want to make sure you get that qualifier and run fast. At Penn, it's about the victory too.
Yeah.
So I want to see the other teams that are lined up, and hopefully we get some momentum like we did with that women's 4x15 ahead of time of record talk.
I mean, if you think about it, and we try to game theory, that's not the right phrase. I just want to say game theory because I sound smart when I say it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that
the live studio audience did a great job. By the way.
I think the men's and women's 4x8s. All right. So you have the 4x8, 4x15/mile, and the DMR. So 6 relays, men's and women's. I think there's a chance 5 of those 6 could get broken. So everything except for the women's 4x8.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the women's 4x15 because it was broken last year. You've already talked
4x mile. Everyone's running insane. That could be broken.
Yeah. And then
DMRs. People are running insane.
Yeah. I guess I'd want to see the lineups on the...
think of Caitlin Tui led DMR.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Be pretty good.
We haven't even seen a Caitlin Tui DMR on a normal track.
Yeah. Oh, we've only seen it on the
Yeah.
FloTrack?
Yeah, we've seen it at ACCs, but it's like championship style.
Different
But
race, yeah.
I think you throw it. I think a fresh going all out, Caitlin Tui led NC State DMR.
They could get it as
that's
well,
breaking
too.
a record.
Speaking of that 4x8 record, we got an email. We talked before about how old that 4x8 record
Yeah,
was.
1984, Arizona State.
1984 for Arizona State. We actually got an email from the anchor leg
Really?
of that team. He was listening. He saw the clip. Mike Starr. He was the anchor leg. And guess where he's going to be this spring?
He's gonna be at Penn Relays.
He's going to be at Penn. So he could be there.
That record's 39 years old.
Yeah. You know
He's
how-
got to have that thing on his resume for 39 years of his life.
It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And he says it'll be awesome to watch the team go for it and even break it. So I like that he has
Yeah.
some appreciation of the history of the Elton. I would be much pettier.
But no,
I'd be
come
like,
on.
I'm going to Penn to actively root for bad weather and wind all the way around the track so that my 39-year-old record stays. But Mike's a
isn't
better guy than I am.
39 years enough years to have a record? Like, if I gave you a toy, are you still going to play with that toy 39 years later?
Well, if I could give it to somebody that I like, I probably would. Yeah, you're right. from that
Right? You don't
perspective.
need a toy 39 years in.
I
Do
think
you
it's-
own anything that's 39 years old?
Well,
You're not even 39 years
I'm
old.
almost. That's why I have a special affinity for 1984 as a year. See, you did the math. I didn't need to look it up because I know that record was a month before I was born.
So I just
So actually, I'll be down there if they break it. I'll stand next to Mike. He broke the record. I'm as old as the record, and we will shake the hands of Iowa State or whoever breaks it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
that's cool. He's going to be there.
Love the small world feel of track. You know, even a performance that old, all it took was us putting out one little clip and someone saw it. It's pretty awesome, right? All right. Let's look at the comments. Any comments? Whoa, a lot of comments here. I just saw over under 2.5, Gordon, but I don't even know what that's about. Oh, the records.
Oh, yeah.
You're going over.
Yeah, I think at least 3. I'll put the over under at 3 point. 2.5 is probably better because records are hard to break. So 2.5 is a better over under.
Tampa Eagle says, is Carl bringing Houston to Penn?
Likely.
Is
Yes.
it on their schedule?
It hasn't been announced yet, but I talked to them at NCAAs, and yeah, they're going to be there.
Yeah, we know Carl loves the meet.
Yeah.
He was there last year with Houston. He's
They,
got a lot
they
of
haven't
tradition.
done like an official announcement, but it's on their it's on their schedule.
Okay.
So Penn Relays.
So that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Houston.
And we'll talk more about that because Houston versus Auburn in the 4x1.
Are you saying Leroy versus Carl?
Leroy versus Carl. Take. How many times have they raced? I don't know, but take.
Well, as head coaches.
As
in
head coach,
NCHS,
take one.
Take one, yeah. All time, you got to
Yeah.
dive into
And they
the
both
archives.
got really great anchors. Houston just ran 39 flat in their 4x1, which I was looking into it. They ran 39 flat, the 4x1. The year that we followed them in 2019, where they had a really good 4x1 and almost, I mean, they dropped the baton, but
Yeah.
they were a legit team. They ran 38.8. So they're only 0.17 off of a really good 4x1. And 0.17 is a lot of time, don't get me wrong, but it's still March and whatever you're running. So they're going to be good. And Auburn has a great anchor and Favor Ash. So
O'Shea.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just got to get you ready for Penn.
Yes.
See, that kind of stuck. Thomas says Texas men's 4x8, Bizimana, Carroza, Jones, ? That's a better 3 legs than anyone else in the nation. Is Texas going?
So it's not a better no, because we went through it. Iowa State has a transfer, Finley McClear. So they have a 145 guy. But I guess
but the 1-2. Actually, that's a.
it might be better.
I think you're wrong. But it just
I might
depends
be wrong.
depends who the fourth runner.
I am wrong, but they're not going to Penn Relays.
Yeah.
You know where they're going? The Texas Invitational.
Oh, okay. So it's a moot point.
Yeah.
All right. Tampa Eagle also asks, anyone have an update on Ellie St. Pierre? According to social media, she gave birth.
Yeah.
Congrats to her.
Yeah.
And her family. That's awesome. What else do we have in the chat here? Oh, Thomas says, where's the over-under gone, guys? Well, last week, we didn't have anything to do over-unders really on.
So we'll
It's
bring
come
them back Friday.
Yeah. Maybe combine segments here if we get the guest, which we should, speaking of not saying names, we should just not jinx it. So we should just say the guest at this point. Maybe the guest could participate in over/under too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think everyone knows who the guest is.
I know, but now I don't want to jinx it anymore. So I feel like
We're seeing if we can get Abby in the studio. She has practice at the same time, so we'll try to figure it out.
All right.
Anyway.
We got anything else?
No.
It's a great Wednesday show.
Perfect Wednesday show.
Was it?
Yeah. Noah Lyles tweeted out that he's faster this year than he was last year. See that?
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, we got one from Jonathan. Can you guys give me a race strategy for a 7K fun run? Got postponed from St. Patrick's Day. Lucky
Ooh.
7K.
See, here's
How
the
do I
question.
win?
Do you run a 7K like a 5K or a 10K?
Let me ask.
And the answer is no, you run it like a 7K.
No.
What is it? How many miles is a 7K?
a 7K?
Who can get closest to the 10th decimal, to the
It's
one
like
to the 10th?
6.5 about?
No, so 3.1, 2K, 4.1. It's not
Right.
6.5. 7K is not 6.5 miles. You don't even know math.
It's 2,000 meters.
You were way
more
off.
than a 5K. That's 5 more laps.
So it's 4.1 plus.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
you need to do your math. Do your research.
4.5.
I'm going
4.5. 4.5.
I'm
Trevor?
doing 4.3. What is the answer? 4.3 is what I'm
You
guessing.
just looked it up.
I didn't look.
You just looked it up.
4.3496.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all about that 0.04 of a mile.
I meant
It's a factor.
4, not 7. I think that goes without saying. The number
No,
7
you just,
stuck in
you
my
just
head.
don't know math.
I
You're-
have 3 kids. I'm allowed
yeah.
to make
Anyway,
mistakes like
how do you
this.
run a 7K?
How do you run a 7K? I think you should run it like a slightly less aggressive 6K. Is how I would break it down.
How do you run a 6K?
A 6K? Oh, slightly more aggressive 5K.
Here's the
Or
thing.
less
Do men
aggressive
even
5K.
know how to run 6Ks? Because all they know is 5Ks and 10Ks
Well,
and
collegiate
8Ks.
women, it's a very specific distance.
Yeah,
No, you're
it's-
not doing that after you graduate college.
But has a guy ever ran a 6K?
Yeah. No, not at all.
Never.
No.
Right?
Well, they've run maybe some 4-milers.
That's not a 6K.
Pretty close. Okay, 7K strategy for Jonathan. Let's figure this out. I think Jonathan's the same listener who ran a 50K while listening to the podcast on a treadmill a couple weeks back. Jonathan, if that was you, let me know.
50K?
Well, he didn't do 50K in an hour, but we were one of the podcasts he
Oh,
was
okay.
listening to. Yeah. It was us, then a previous episode of us, then an even older episode of us. It's just back to back to back. 7K? Yeah, I would actually, in all honesty, I'd run it like a super fun 10K.
Yeah.
Go out at 10K pace, and then you're going to have the close of your life.
That's a good point. I think, I think you're running like a 10K. Because at the end of the day, we're just having some fun. He said it's a fun run. Is that the word fun in the title?
It was rescheduled from St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, fun run.
The word fun is in the title.
Well, it just says 7K fun run. Got postponed from St. Patrick's. Oh,
But
it's called the lucky 7K.
The lucky 7K.
Yeah,
So that changes things.
because it's lucky and not fun.
Yeah. If it was fun, you run it like a 10K.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's lucky, you got
What
to
are you
roll
gonna-
your luck and run it like a 5K.
What are you going to do with a
this?
7K PR, though? I get it's fun, and it's not about getting PRs and all that stuff. It's about beating your neighbor and bragging at the office. That's what fun runs are about. But still, 7K is just tough.
Yeah, what do you do with that?
It
Like,
doesn't give you much equity.
is there even like a spot on any? Is 7K even recorded as a time anywhere,
No,
like in any results database?
I don't know.
Like
I
World
don't-
Athletics doesn't have a 7K world record, do
Like,
they?
what does he consider? I want to know what Jonathan considers success. Is he going to take his 5K pace and just extrapolate it out? Or it's very hard to figure out what would be good, which is what would make it fun, less pressure.
Run it like a 5K.
He says he's running to win. He updated.
Run it like a 5K then. And mess with people and tell everyone it's a 5K too.
This is a 5K, right?
And then everyone gets like, wait, what? And then when they see the extra 2K, you are the only one that knows.
Or run it like a 10K and say, this is the shortest 10K of my life.
Or find all the signage that says 7K and then do a little scribble and turn the 7 into like a 5 so everyone just gets confused about the distance.
All right, so he did run the 50K. He did it in 4 hours and 30 minutes when he did it.
That's 4 podcasts.
Yeah. And how much of that was good?
Hey. All right. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Colt won't be here Friday,
Yeah, Caleb would
which is a
be
bummer.
our producer.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a guest.
Yeah, maybe.
Tune in to see. We'll preview on Friday Florida relays.
Texas Relays, give some hot predictions. the
Someone
other
might
news.
get mad about a tweet. Talk about that.
Yeah, we're really good at that.
I thought you did good. Tampa Eagle gives flowers to everybody in the pod. No trolling from our regulars.
There we go.
Solid. We got great listeners. All right.
All right.
Talk to you guys on Friday. Thanks again. We'll see you then.
Peace.